Well, as promised, we have our two folks from the Trading Post today. But actually, yes,
Wait,
we do.
we're at the wrong chair.
You're at the wrong
day.
place. All right, we need to give you, some Trading Post facts. No, Carol and Mark are here, of course, from the Old Pros, and their meeting is coming up not until September. So we, about September 12th. But you folks are doing, as you've done in the past, sort of a mini play.
Yes,
Am I right?
absolutely. And this one, let me just say, earlier in the year I had done the Boleyn Inheritance.
Yeah.
And we had a wonderful audience, and thanks to you, we were able to promote it for 2 months upcoming. This one is a delightful story called the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society.
Yes.
And in there is a long story. But what happened is I love our library, and I got the Boleyn Inheritance there, found this here, and I think why I loved it is they're little known history facts. And this one, well, the last one was about the unknown women in Henry VIII.
Right, yeah.
This one is just, I really didn't, I've always heard about the Channel Islands, but the Channel Islands are in the English Channel. Guernsey is one of those, and it was occupied by the Germans during World War II.
Interesting.
So, fascinating. And the story itself is right after the World War II has ended, and these people are just getting back because they've been cut off from England, and they're eager to find out what has been going on with the rest of the world.
You know, what's interesting about this is not too long ago, I forget what I was listening to, might have been Backstory, which is a fantastic podcast, but there was something not necessarily about this, but about Guernsey. And at first I'm thinking, are they talking about the Guernsey cow? Which, of course, that's kind of where it comes from. But,
Right.
But no, they were talking about that and something relating to it. I forget what it was. But and that's what it's kind of strange that just less than 2 months ago, they were talking about, well, Guernsey Island and the Channel Islands and all that, which I've heard of Guernsey, but I never heard of the, where it came from, so to speak. Yeah.
Well, they
Interesting,
say
huh?
when you become aware of something, it seems like
Right.
a lot of it's going on at the same time. Like if you need a new refrigerator, all of a sudden you notice all the ads in the paper.
Yeah. Well, I become aware of our hosts on our Wednesday Trading Post, and now I see them all the time. I mean, it's just amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah, do you still recognize Mark? He's
Yes.
been gone
I've
for
been
a
gone
couple
for
of
a couple of
weeks.
So, Mark, how are you involved with this? I did not know. I knew you take great photographs of the Old Pros and all that, but I didn't know you were an actor, and I see you listed here.
Well,
as
that
one
might
of
be carrying it a little far. For those folks who don't know the story, I started photographing Shakespeare about 5 years ago on the patio, and that was because of David Deering.
Yeah.
That was the slippery slope step, and I've gotten very involved with certainly photography here in the village, but as a sidelight, I also have worked backstage at every play for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
We were doing Dracula.
Yes, and some folks know me as the Batman because I'm the one who flew the bat during Dracula, and I've also been known as Ratman because I was the one who pulled the rat across the stage in another play.
Who's in bed with the butler.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all kinds of other things that folks don't know that I'm back there doing. I've been on stage a couple of times. The last time was a big surprise. It was the night before the play opened. Carol went down, had a bad leg, and Al Hicks had to go to the hospital with a really serious situation. And suddenly the director came to me and said, "Mark, you got to do this part." And so the next night I had 12 hours to learn some lines, and I was on stage.
His best line was, "Yes, dear."
Yes.
Very good.
Ad-libbed. Anyway, Carol, I don't know where we were, at dinner or we were eating or something, and she said, "Do you want to be in this play?" And I said, "What do I have to do?" And thank goodness it's only reading a little short
Well,
something.
it's very cute. I just couldn't resist this. I'm playing Juliet, the author of the Izzy Bickerstaff Goes to War articles that have been running in the paper. And this very intriguing millionaire who's been over in America comes back and wants to meet the author. And he starts sending her flowers. And she finally catches the delivery boy and finds out who this character was.
Now,
and so she writes a letter to him, and then he writes back to her. And
so
we
this
just
is
thought
about
it was so
letters.
much fun.
Am I right? This book is a series of letters, or is it a story?
It's
I'm a little confused by that.
It's a story, but it's told with each letter that comes across from all these different characters.
All right. Now,
so this is the byplay between Juliet and this.
I'm a letter writer.
Okay.
And reader.
Is this based on real letters, true letters, or was this something?
I think this is. It's a novel. It is a fiction, but the concept is just delightful.
Okay.
And the characters, because the people who were on occupied Guernsey are so eager for contact with the outside world, and because a situation happened to escape from the Nazi patrol, they made up this story that they had just come back from their first meeting of the Literary Society. So then they were pushed into having to have a literary society so they wouldn't be put in jail by the Nazis.
Interesting.
They start reading, and some of these people have never been readers. You have one very simple farmer, and he falls in love with Shakespeare. And he says everything that you ever thought of could be explained by Shakespeare. And then somebody else just like Seneca. And then some people want to read everything there's available.
Interesting.
Carol comes up with some fascinating stories to bring to the stage. Yeah.
Very good. Now, is this book new, or is this based on a book that was written 60, 70 years ago?
No, it's fairly recent. It was on the New York Times bestseller, and it's just absolutely delightful. Now, they did make a movie which came out last year, but it was more the story of, what happened. Juliet goes to Guernsey, and then all these other things occur, and then they look back at what happened during the war. But they didn't bring out the flavor of the characters, something that you can get so much easier when you're reading a story. You can put in all these wonderful details and sidebars by the people who are talking.
Okay. All right.
A movie, you have to keep the action going. You don't have that interior life going the same way.
That's cool. Now, the thing is about this, even though it's the Old Prose, it's a club event, and it's sort of a meeting,
but it's open.
Yeah,
it's
that's
absolutely
what I mean.
open. Thanks to this day, I was able to promote Boleyn Inheritance. We had 27 guests show up that day.
Very good.
Which was
and it's a Clubhouse 7, so you're on this, small stage.
It's the small stage, but it's going to again be a staged reading, and of course people are. They're reading as they're writing their letters. Yeah. So it becomes very much alive. It's not just reading something flat. Yes.
So again, September 12th, it's a Clubhouse 7 at 4 o'clock. Guests are $3. Members are free, and you're all invited to come there.
Absolutely. It'll be a delightful experience. And we have 10 characters, 10 of our people.
Wow. It's got one right there.
Got one right here.
Yeah.
People should come to see if I can. People should come to see if I can even read or not.
I want to see. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Well, we know you can read. You do that every Wednesday.
Good. Yes, that's true.
That's right.
Yes, you do that well.
With feeling.
You do that very, very well. Yes. All right, folks. This is going to be a lot of fun, and you'll probably be on before then again to talk about this, knowing Carol.
Oh, twist my arm.
I think next Wednesday we might mention it.
You might mention it.
Well, and I just want, because it's a wonderful experience.
All right.
We should have fun at these meetings, and that's what we're really updoing our programs for the coming year, and involving more of our people. So if you're a member of the Old Pros, a lot more to do next year.
All right. Very good. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for
having us. We'll see you soon. We'll see you all around.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. We'll be right back.